VR46 crew.
Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Those four guys there spend so much time together at the MotoGP circus and away from it. Valentino Rossi's guidance has helped those young men flourish and blossom. Pecco Bagnaia, Franco Morbidelli, Moto2 world champions. Luca Marini very close to being a Moto2 world champion. What lies in store for the VR46 Academy in 2021? Valentino Rossi has made it crystal clear. He does not see this as the final farewell, the swan song. In fact, he did an interview recently, published in Italy, where he said, I want to carry on for another 2 years, which sounds absolutely fantastic. Well, we're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. Valentino Rossi, the most experienced man on the MotoGP grid, to one of the hottest prospects coming into MotoGP in 2021 on the Pramac Ducati. Jorge Martin, I'm delighted to say, is with Simon down in pit lane.
Yeah, I am. I'm super excited, as everyone knows, about the rookies coming in, you know. And I don't think there's a more driven, hard, aggressive one than Jorge Martin, who I'm standing with now. Jorge, what was it like here? We've just heard from Luca. What was it like riding a MotoGP for the first time here in Qatar?
Well, it was crazy. It was so also emotional, no? Because my first time after so long battling during all the categories to arrive in MotoGP, and then you arrive finally. And yeah, the feeling was great. The bike is not that difficult, no, comparing to other bikes, and I feel really competitive. Still, we miss some time, and some speed, but for sure we will be really strong, and the bike is amazing to ride.
Can you give us an idea what are the points you'd like to figure out before Sunday?
Well, I will try to figure out the entry of the corners. I meet a bit of a speed there, but for sure in braking, acceleration, I am already really competitive. So I will try to be competitive also, releasing the brake earlier, and I think I will be ready to battle for the top 10.
Jorge, thank you for your time, and I'm sure I'm not alone when I say we'll be cheering for you on Sunday.
Thank you, Simon. Thank you.
Yeah, the best of luck to Jorge Martin throughout every single class he's ever entered, Matt. He's been a class act. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to seeing how he gets on in Pramac Ducati colours.
The Italian army ready for battle in 2021. A young man on the end there, on the right-hand side of your picture. One man we've not mentioned too much, the current Moto2 world champion, Enea Bastianini. Big hopes and expectations for him as well, coming into the MotoGP World Championship for the very first time. Lorenzo Savadori there as well, partnering Aleix Espargaro, as Steve mentioned, in the Factory Aprilia squad.
Wow, I've forgotten actually just how many Italians were actually in the Premier class. Of course, now that Luca Marini and Enea Bastianini are moving up and Savadori has gone in as well, that's really lifted up the Italian fortunes in the Premier class. You can just see there, top left of the picture, the bright orange bike with a 27. That's Iker Lecuona's KTM in Tech 3 colours. He's now ready to stand by. Of course, this will be his second full season in MotoGP. What are his expectations? Let's find out now. He's with Simon in pit lane.
Iker, you're no longer a rookie. I know this is a tough one for KTM so far at Qatar, but how do you feel from 12 months ago compared to now?
Yeah, no, I feel really good, honestly. Also, I have a long time with no MotoGP bike, because my last race before the last test is in Aragon. So yeah, also here in Qatar I struggle a lot. The KTM maybe not is the best bike for this track, but I don't know. I expect a lot about this race. KTM worked very well, so we'll see. I think we can to improve a lot.
That was, just before I let you go, that was really sad not seeing you do your home race in Valencia and then still not be able to do the last race of the season, or either of your home races at Valencia. Tell us about that. That must have been tough, not racing in front of your family there.
Still, this moment is really difficult for me, also for my man, because the first race is not possible to go. The second race, Dornat speak with Andorra and say, hey, you can to leave Saturday morning. Maybe I remember maybe at 2 or 3 a.m. to arrive to the qualifying. I say, okay, if I can to ride, I wake up early and I go. And after 5 negatives, I arrived to Valencia, I have the PCR and it's positive. I say, no way, come on. So for my man, very difficult to accept this moment, but also I learned a lot. Finally, it's life. Sometimes happen. So I put my focus to be ready in 2021 to continue to improve, because my last race is really good. I finished in the top 10, so I think my performance, I have a good level. Just I want to continue like that.
Best of luck, Ika, and yeah, thank you for reminding us about that, because we have to realise you have to get yourself back up to speed after being off the bike so long. But best of luck with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, good luck to Ika Lekawona, a rookie no longer, but still plenty of enthusiasm there from young Ika as he sets sail then into his second full MotoGP season. There is Alex Rins, still no sign as yet of the current world champion, his teammate Joan Mir. We just saw Maverick Vinales a moment ago. One thing I'm really intrigued to know, and I'm sure you're the same, Matt, is just how Yamaha fare this year. So up and down they were in 2020, particularly those on the full factory setup Yamaha. But what is in store Fabio Quartararo, Maverick Vinales and Valentino Rossi this year in terms of the motorcycle that's underneath them?
It's such a difficult one to answer, isn't it? When you look at last season, I think on reflection, a lot of people outside of Franco Morbidelli will probably think it was a bad year for Yamaha, but they won half the races, 7 out of 14 Grand Prix. So yeah, it will be fascinating to see exactly how the Yamaha boys go on Sunday night. Qualifying is going to be key for them, that's for sure.
Danilo Petrucci is, of course, changing teams this year. He goes from red to orange and now rides for KTM. Let's get his thoughts then. We heard from his teammate a moment ago. Danilo is with Simon.
Danilo, I love hearing from you. And just before you go out for a photo, I'm not going to hassle you about how the test went and the differences in the bike. What have you been doing in the winter off-season?
A lot of motocross, my passion, and I did a rally, motor rally in December, because yeah, I like to ride the bike in general, and we went to Sardinia for a 3 days rally. It was very nice experience, but maybe too dangerous for the moment.
And how's Mama?
Is everything okay? Everything okay at home? My mom, my father they are really happy because I'm still at their home, and they just training me to.
When you say you're still at home, is that because I heard you're doing some renovations on a house or something? Is that right?
Yeah. Just renew an old house from the 1st of 90. And was very difficult to get everything, but it's a thing that I love, because see something born is and grew up is very nice, but it needs time.
Danilo, thank you for your time. Good luck.
Thank you.
There you go then. When Danilo Petrucci finishes at MotoGP, maybe there's a new TV show
Yeah,
for house
exactly.
renovations coming his way.
He just likes his mum's cooking, doesn't he?
There is Valentino Rossi then, and Franco Morbidelli taking a good look at Franco's bike, and no doubt the number 36. I just saw a glimpse there of the world champion. There is Fabio Quartararo, just saying hello to Dorna boss Carmelo Espeleta, sporting still, shall we say, I don't know if it's really bleached hair. It's sort of part bleach, part grey ahead of the season.
Yeah, he went sort of full Slim Shady a few weeks ago, didn't he? Jack Miller and Valentino Rossi, well, make no bones about it, a lot of riders, including Rossi, have earmarked Jack Miller as one of the big favourites for the first 25 points that's up for grabs here in Qatar on Sunday night. And as Simon mentioned, you just get this sense from looking at Jack Miller, the way he's sort of just carrying himself. He feels like now this is his time to shine. He's put in all the hard graft, all the hard work for years and years and years, and now this is his moment to really show the world what he's fully capable of. And it'll take some doing, though, to wrestle the crown away from that young man.
Yes, here is the 23-year-old Mallorcan, then Joan Mir, the reigning MotoGP world champion. What a season it was for the Suzuki rider.
Number one on the rankings last year, but not number one on the motorcycle. There was some debate, wasn't there, in the winter? Will he or won't he run the number one plate? Well, after a bit of an overhype, I have to say, he decided to stick with his trusted, faithful number 36. He said, I hope it's not the last time I get the opportunity to make that call about whether I will run the 36 or number one. But there are certainly three young men who've got eyes on taking that young man's prize. Maverick Vinales, Fabio Quartararo, the new look Yamaha squad, and Alex Rins as well, of course. When you look back at last year, there was probably only one day in the whole of last year that Alex Rins could say, I was 100% fit. And that was the Friday of the opening round in Jerez. Of course, he had that horrible qualifying crash, tore all the ligaments, dislocated that right shoulder. And from that point onwards, I don't think, Steve, at any stage you could say he jumped on that motorcycle and was fully fit.
No, that was certainly the case. And, you know, we're in this season, Matt, where at the moment we have a calendar for the year, which is fantastic. But we do also have to be aware that there could be changes at any time. This is changing every single day around the world, but there is nobody at the moment that can do it consistently like Joan Mir, and that is the one thing I think every single rider behind Joan Mir has got to get right in 2021 if they're going to beat the number 36 to the championship.
And barring the legend, the former world champion now, of course, Marc Marquez, as the photographers get their shots for the websites and the magazines, the newspapers all around the world, we're about to see very, very shortly the class of 2021, and it is probably, I think without hesitation, the strongest we've ever seen in history.
Yep. Really tough one to call in 2021, and that is exactly how we like it. Ducati, well, they'll be looking to make a step up, and they are probably the biggest movers in terms of changes to personnel. Of course, Bagnaia, Miller moving up to the factory. They now have Martin and Zarco at their disposal at Pramac, and the two rookies as well. What does Davide Tardozzi make of Ducati's chances of getting back to the top in MotoGPs with Simon?
Yes, he is. Davide, while the photos are going on, I would love to hear from you, your feelings inside the team. We've just been talking about how Jack looks confident. You know, he's not only fast on track, he looks like he's ready to go out there and do it. What are your feelings inside the garage?
Yeah, it seems that wearing the red suit, it makes him more confident, more focused. So pretty happy about this attitude, and I guess that this will be finalized in good results.
One thing I was thinking is Jack is ready, you know, ready to do something special, I think. The other thing is there's only going to be a small window for Jack to shine as the number one guy, I think, because Pecco is so natural. We saw it a couple of times last year, Jerez, Misano, how fast he is. And I want you to give us your thoughts on Pecco so far.
I think that Pecco too has room to grow. I think that he has the right mental attitude, and he's not worried about Jack being faster than him on the test. He's looking to the championship, the whole championship, and he knows that it will be the time that he will be faster than Jack. So I think that it will be one of the top 5 guys of the World Championship.
One more thing to get your thoughts on is I was talking, actually I was on a podcast last week, and we were talking about Ducati, the tough time last year, and I kind of hadn't thought a lot about it before that, but came out with something I'd love your opinion on. Is when I went from went to Dunlop, so I rode on Dunlops for a while, and I progressed and I went faster and faster each year I rode them, and I think I developed my style around that. And being as an older rider, when I jumped on the Michelins, I couldn't change back my style, and it reminded me this because that's what I kind of saw last year. You're two experienced riders, Dovizioso, Petrucci. You know, the new rear tyre come along, and they didn't seem to be able to adapt or change themselves to suit it. And I know it's bike as well, and your young boys could.
Yeah, what you said is, I guess, is the truth. I think that old style guys maybe doesn't match with the new tires, not with the bike. I guess that those new guys can be more open to change a bit riding style and to let the bike working better with the tires. So we are really confident that we will have less problem this year.
Davide, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Simon. Thanks to Davide Tardozzi. Here they are then, the field of 2021. Who is your favourite, or maybe your favourite isn't actually, at this moment in time, on the grid?
Indeed, and that's a pretty mouth-watering prospect as well. The Titan, Marc Marquez, still to come back. Will it be Portimao on April the 18th. We know he's certainly been ruled out of the doubleheader here in Qatar. Johann Zarco, we haven't really mentioned much about him. He was looking really, really strong, of course, upgraded to the latest spec factory Ducati in Pramac this year. He feels like he's got an outside chance of being firmly in that World Championship hunt. Will Aprilia live up to their pre-season promise? So many different stories to look forward to and keep you on the edge of the seat throughout this 2021 campaign.
Yeah, will it be finally Miller time on a Ducati? Of course, still looking for his first win in Ducati colours. You just saw in the background then Taka Nakagami. Can he finally find his way onto a MotoGP podium, having looked so close to doing so many times last year? Can Franco Morbidelli go one better? Many still wondering how he's not got exactly the same spec motorcycle as everyone else. He's still the coolest customer in MotoGP.
Exactly. One question we do know the answer is, can Franco Morbidelli look any more chilled out? No, he can't.
The trio from Spain there, of course. Two of them rookies from last year, Lecuona and Alex Marquez, and then Jorge Martin. Pecco Bagnaia is another rider we've not mentioned yet as well. It was an up and down season in 2020, perhaps more downs than ups for the Italian. If he could perhaps recapture the form we saw of him in Misano, then he'll be a force to be reckoned with this year. But he's got to find sort of an upward curve, shall we say, pretty quickly in 2021.
When you look at that shot, mate, there's going to be some bruised egos a few times this year. I mean, there's going to be times this year where you're going to have world champions and race winners at this level that aren't even going to be scoring points.
Well, no, as ever, Matt, when we come to the start of a season, everybody's got a smile on their face, everyone's excited, but already by Sunday night, there's going to be some miserable folk in this paddock because the numbers just don't add up. There's only 3 spaces on a podium.
And on paper, if you base your judgment on the pre-season test, which is all we've kind of got to go on, it looks like at the moment being a bit of a showdown between the Yamahas, in particular Quartararo, Vinales and Morbidelli, although do not rule out Rossi. He's a Sunday man, isn't he? And the Ducatis, particularly in the hands of a certain Jay Miller Esquire.
It's looking like also, in terms of Yamaha, a lot of their championship chances, it's going to come down to what they do on a Saturday afternoon as well. Qualifying is going to be imperative for Yamaha in this 2021 season. If you're further back than row 2, life becomes very difficult.
Yeah, and life already quite difficult at the moment for Maverick Vinales. Some breaking news. He did a media scrum a few moments ago before this photo shoot. Unfortunately, his crew chief, Esteban Garcia, inconclusive COVID test. He's been isolating in the hotel, possibly not going to be back in this paddock until Saturday or maybe even Sunday. So not the ideal start for Maverick Vinales and his crew.
I'm going to put you on the spot, Matt.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the 2021 MotoGP World Championship? Now, we should just point out that me and Matt have been pretty awful at this over the last couple of years.
I mean, I hate this question because I just feel like straight out of the gate I'm going to be jinxing the person I'm going to name. It's incredibly difficult to pick a world champion in any of the 3 classes this year, but I don't know why. I think it all depends on whether he can stay fully fit. If he can, and if he can just cut out a couple of those unforced errors, I don't know why, I've got a real sneaking suspicion. If you really, really push my back against the wall, I'm going to go not for that young man, the world champion. I'm going to go for his teammate, Alex Rins.
Interesting one, but I can understand why you're going down that route. Simon, what about yourself? If we were to put Mr. Crayfar on the spot.
I missed your question because I'm trying to grab a rider to talk to. I think I've got Fabio in a moment, but fire away because he's talking to someone else. What was it?
Yeah, it's not going to be an easy one for you, Simon. Putting you on the spot here. If you had to pick a favourite for the championship right now.
Now, I've been put on the spot a couple of times recently. I refuse because it's just too hard. It's going to be like last year, you know. There's so many fast boys. At the end, I'm not going to give you a who. It's going to come down to, like last year, the boys who are consistent stay on. There's going to be a few that smash out races, but I don't think they're going to be the one that wins the championship. So I don't know. I'm not going to answer, guys, because I genuinely don't know. I'm not going to make it up.
It is a tough one to call. Steve, you served it over to my way, mate, so I'm just going to whack it back over the net and go, right, OK, mate, your turn.
I could just do the same as Simon, to be honest, and just leave you out in the lurch on your own. I agree with both of you in terms of I think it's very, very difficult to call. I also think a lot of it depends on what sort of Marc Marquez we get, when we get him, and how strong he is when he returns.
100%.
However, I believe that Joan Mir is going to get stronger and stronger, and I think that if he can do that and add to his game from last year, if that's at all possible, that he just edges it for me.
So we're both backing blue.
Which could be an absolute disaster for Suzuki, bearing in mind me and you have got these predictions so wrong. But in any case, Matt, I mean, it's just a pleasure to be able to commentate on it. I don't care who wins, as long as we get some good racing, and I think that we're in for some showdown here in 2021.
Could not agree more with that one, mate. Looking forward to this one. Like I don't think I've looked forward to a season of many a one. Of course, these guys, in the back of their mind, they do know that imminent return. He desperately wants. Doctor's just erring on the side of caution, giving him that extra month to complete his rehabilitation. But when he's back, beware, because there will be fireworks.
And you know, on Sundays here in Qatar, Matt, it doesn't always go by the book either. You know, the Ducati of Jack and the speed he's got off the line, even if he was to get into turn one in first, you know, long distance race here in Qatar, and so often we've seen quite slow pace at the start, which invites trouble.
That's the thing. I mean, Andrea Dovizioso's modus operandi has been to slow the pace down, keep his tyres for the last 5 laps. How will Jack Miller approach it? How will Maverick Vinales, Franco Morbidelli approach it? How will a certain Fabio Quartararo approach it? Of course, we're looking forward to seeing him on his official factory Yamaha debut here on Sunday night. I'm delighted to say, before he pops off back to the hotel, he's joined Simon Crayford down in pit lane. Simon.
Yeah, he is. He's got another interview to do, so I've only got one question. But Fabio, I'm really curious, how do you feel right now compared to 12 months ago?
Feel great. 12 months ago I was in quarantine home, and now we're in Qatar, so big improvement. Hope it will go better for the health of everyone, but you know, it feels great to make the family pictures and yeah, finally start the race in Qatar. So I'm feeling so good, and can't wait to make the first race here.
Good luck, Fabio.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see Fabio Quartararo. Let's hope there's no hangover from a real disastrous slump towards the back end of last season. What happened to Fabio Quartararo, having taken a maximum 50 points in those opening 2 Grand Prix in Jerez? His championship charge really did fall away, but you do know, if he clicks with that 2021 spec factory-wise RM1, Fabio Quartararo